Back now with our politics lead, President Trump airing his grievances early this morning on Twitter, yet again criticizing the father of a basketball player who refused to thank him and hammering the NFL over the anthem controversy. Joining me now to talk about this and much more, Republican Congressman Scott Taylor of Virginia, former Navy SEAL. Congressman, I am thankful that you are here with me on this Thanksgiving Eve. Thank you so much for being here. Look, given the threats from North Korea.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
We're getting there. Given the threats over North Korea, you're dealing with health care reform, the tax cut, going after LeVar Ball again, the president, calling him an ungrateful fool and a poor man's Don King. Is this what the president should be focused on?
Well, I don't think just because he tweets necessarily means he's not focused on other things as well, too. It doesn't take that long to tweet, as you know. And I was asked on CNN a couple of days ago if I believe it might have been a diversionary tactic, and if it is, it certainly works. I've been very clear. I don't think I think it's necessary for the president to get in these spats with folks like that. At the same time, he's obviously, it should come as no surprise he gets his feelings out on Twitter, and a lot of Americans agree with him with the ungratefulness.
You said the
a lot of Americans don't like him tweeting too. That's clear.
The election in your state, in Virginia, where Democrats swept almost every elected office there, you said it was a referendum on President Trump. Is this the type of thing that you think Virginia voters were acting out against?
Yes, I do. Sure. And I think that some of the divisive rhetoric sort of stokes emotions for sure. And, information leads to reason, but emotion leads to action. And Democrats came out in that election. They were emotionally charged, and they showed up. And I think it was a rebuke.
So, Roy Moore, Republican candidate for Senate in the state of Alabama, a woman says that he molested her when she was 14 years old. Now the president goes as far as to say he might campaign for him in Alabama. What do you make of that? Is it okay for the president to pick this Republican over a Democrat?
Well, let me preface this by saying, the election is going to be decided by folks in Alabama, so that they will be the deciding factor. There's no question about it. All I know is what I've seen. I saw the man give his interview. Me personally, I don't think it was sufficient enough. The 14-year-old girl that was there, I can tell you right now, if it was my daughter, I'd break his face, I'd break his fingers, and I'd probably do a lot worse. I think that the president has probably looked at raw politics, and the alternative, of course, would jeopardize his agenda in a very close Senate. Now, people can have their feelings about that, whether he should do it or not. But I can tell you, folks from Alabama will choose their next senator. But I certainly don't feel comfortable with his explanation and everything that happened.
Aren't some things above politics, Congressman?
I believe so, sure.
And the president says a rehearing from the White House. White House sources tell CNN that President Trump is skeptical in some cases of the accusers of Roy Moore. Do you believe their statements?
I think you have to listen to the women. I mean, clearly, this isn't an isolated case now. Now it looks like across the country in many different areas where there are men in power who have crossed the line. There's no question about it. Women are feeling emboldened to come out and speak, and I think that's a good thing. You're seeing it in Congress as well, too. In fact, my office is introducing a bill that will make sure that representatives won't be able to use taxpayer dollars to subsidize predatory behavior in paying out settlements. I think there's no excuse for that anywhere. So I would lean on the women coming out. At the same time, you also have to be skeptical in some instances, but I don't think this is one that we should be.
Congressman, there is this accident in the Pacific where this plane crashed. The search for 3 sailors still going on right now, or 3 airmen, 3 personnel, I should say. This is not the first tragedy we've seen in this part of the world. Are you concerned at all now about safety for our military personnel there based on these 2 ship accidents we've had and now this air accident?
So you've had 5 ship accidents this year, the air accident. I'm very, very concerned for a couple of reasons. Number one, of course, I believe sequestration, which those arbitrary cuts in the budget have hurt our maintenance, our readiness, our deployment schedules have been extended. Training, of course, has suffered. So this is something that you're seeing the CNO having a worldwide review on those things to try to help out. But one of my big concerns personally is this is all in the 7th Fleet. We have ships all around the world, and you're not seeing these same things. And if you think about this, you're in an area of operation where obviously tensions are heightened, where we have near peers in cyber in Russia and China and even North Korea. And that concerns me too. I think that cyber and the cyber threat, both to our ships and to ships around us that could potentially cause collisions, is a real threat and has to be ruled out in any investigations moving forward. So yeah, I'm very, very concerned, not just on the training and readiness aspect of it and the safety for, of course, our sailors out there, and God bless them. We hope we find those 3 that are missing, but also the cyber aspects and the cyber threat that is out there.
Congressman Scott Taylor, thank you for being with us. Thank you for your service. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you get where you're going in time and you beat the traffic.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there, and you, sir.
Thank you.